My name is Hezron. Welcome to another week's roundup of Health in the News. This is where we look at various health-related matters that have made the news this week. And while we do that, we highlight stories and events that are relevant to us. The law around organ donation changed during the week of May 20th. I shared with you that the law now states that all adults in England are automatic organ donors unless you opt out. Well, this week, the Hines family were excited about that law, to say the least. And this was after witnessing Mr. Hines Sr., who was on the heart transplant waiting list, had his heart transplant, and could be seen taking his first steps with nurses out of his bed on the ward. Now, this was a fascinating testimony and a gripping story to read, and one that really shows, it seems, how essential the law really is. And we continue to pray for the family and indeed for those who are still on the waiting list, the many people who are still on the waiting list for various transplants. Now, I need to share a little bit about how the law works. After someone dies, their organs aren't automatically taken and used or given to someone else. Your family still need to give consent, and this is important for you to know also, so that you can have discussions prior this event. Okay, now you can amend or opt out from the register at any time, and you can do this online or by calling the contact center, and the details are listed here on the screen for you. Due to the disruptions caused by COVID-19, which has created some logistical nightmares, a number of patients requiring various treatments, some of these patients are cancer patients, have been unable to receive their much needed treatments. Now, one such person, a 27-year-old gentleman who has a tumor in his pelvis and some 30 smaller tumors in his lungs, shared his heart-wrenching story this week of his frustration in waiting for his treatments. Patient safety groups, families, politicians have all expressed the need not just for an urgent review, but for an immediate response to the needs of these patients. Now, in what appears to be a step towards reaching out to these patients, particularly cancer patients, the NHS has outlined plans to boost the delivery or treatments during the pandemic by delivering what is known as chemo buses, chemotherapy on buses. Now, the NHS has fast-tracked the use of these buses, known as chemo buses. And the fascinating thing about this also is that each bus has the capacity for treatment of up to 4 patients at a time. Now, we will look out for further information about how this is going, and we continue to pray for the local authority, we continue to pray for the NHS, and indeed the patients for whom these treatments are necessary. We continue to pray for them fervently. Each week, we're introduced to the many unsung heroes who, throughout the pandemic, have shown unreserved commitment in their work to help the nation combat COVID-19. This week, the headline features 2 mothers, 2 heroic nurses who put the needs of those in their care before their own families. This was indeed the mother of all sacrifices. At least that was the headline. You can see how catchy that is. Both mothers decided to forego living with their families, to include their little children, for almost 2 months, so that they could work on the front line looking after patients who had contracted COVID-19. Both mothers also expressed movingly why they felt it was vital for them to make such a sacrifice. Now, there were tears at times, as you can imagine, when after each shift, the only connection that they would have with their children and family was a WhatsApp call or video call, where they would be able to talk and blow kisses and hugs. Now, after a period of almost 2 months of sacrifice and selflessness and bravery of these mothers, the reunion with their children was highly charged, and with their loved ones as well. And so this was filled with hugs and kisses that money could not buy. Now, thoughts and prayers continue to go out to the frontline workers and those in the background as well, doing various things to help the nation and all of us get through this. Our prayers and our thoughts are with the nation. Finally, this week, the results of a 4-year study conducted by Harvard University showed that unselfish behavior, or an altruistic endeavor, doing good, essentially, to others, just 2 hours per week, not only benefit the person to whom good is done, or society, but the person who actually does it. The research, as I said, took 4 years, and it was a study of thousands of people, and they found that those who volunteer to help others are less likely to die early and more likely to have a more positive outlook on life, enjoying significantly higher levels of mental, physical, and spiritual health than those who do not. Now, I've got four scripture passages that research has reminded me of, and that I want to share with you and leave with you. Number one is Acts chapter 20, verse 35. It is better to give than to receive. See, the Bible knew all of this already. Number two, Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9. Let us not be weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap. Yes, sir. Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 25. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. And finally, my favorite, Luke 8:38. Give and it will come back to you. My name is Hezron. This is Health in the News. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless you.